Brewers homestand continues on an absolutely gorgeous Friday night for baseball here at Miller Park. It is game one of a three-game weekend set between the Houston Astros and the Milwaukee Brewers. And inside Miller Park here tonight, it's Prince Fielder and the crew. They have won 3 in a row to start out this homestand in great fashion and have gone from third place to first place in the National League Central. And they have also added a newcomer to the mix, Felipe Lopez, who's set to make his second stint in a Milwaukee Brewer uniform. So lots to talk about here tonight, including Randy Wolf, who is on the hill trying to win a game for the first time since interleague play on June 24th, although he has pitched very well during that process, wants to collect a W for the Brewers here tonight. All right, let's get you to where we need to go tonight. The Brewers brush off a sweep of the Cubs as this stretch of 18 straight against their division rivals continues here from Miller Park tonight. They did lose Ricky Weeks in the process, however, so they'll have some adjustments to make. Some of those adjustments include 2 of the hottest players maybe pitching in on there, and Ryan Braun has 5 home runs since the All-Star break, and John Axford has saved all 3 wins this week. So the Axeman and the Brewers doing their thing. Now the door's open for a new second baseman. Felipe Lopez, who's here tonight on his second stint with the Brewers, acquired yesterday from Tampa Bay. Now he is in tonight's lineup, ready to take over until Weeks can come back. No Brewers hot as Ryan Braun, though. BA and Rock break down his numbers as the crew is ready for last place Houston. Coming up next.
Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By AT&T. And brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toyota territory at Miller Park. Nobody does it better. Tailgating by the thousands here tonight at Miller Park. A big crowd expected and a beautiful night for the grand old game. We are at Miller Park for game one of this 3-game series. The Brewers sending up Randy Wolf. The Astros send up 20-year-old right-hander Jordan Lyles. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Great to have you with us tonight. Looking forward to this series with Houston Rock. The Brewers coming off a sweep of the Chicago Cubs. They are a game and a half ahead in the National League Central right now, the Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. But the one guy that you keep looking at is Ryan Braun. And from a historic basis, Braun continues to put up historic numbers to start a career.
Man, he just keeps getting better. Not only is he off to one of the best starts in franchise history, perhaps one of the best starts in all of Major League Baseball history. Since coming off of that injury, Ryan Braun has been red hot. He's impossible to pitch to. He's impossible to defend because he uses all the field, left field, right field. He hits baseballs in on him, he hits them away, and right now he's carrying the offense. The Brewers haven't scored many runs, but the runs that they have been scoring, Ryan Braun has been involved in just about all. But you can see the average home runs for Ryan in his 7th National League season, so we'll see how he does.
Well, Braun is in the top 6 in all the 3 major categories. He is second in the league at hitting, and Randy Wolf is hoping for some of that run support tonight. Randy Wolf, the former Astro, he's hungry, and he's ready to go to work at Miller Park. It's coming up next. Friday night at Miller Park, and here comes Randy Wolf. He leads the Brewers onto the field as this homestand continues. This is game number 4 of this 9-game homestand. The Brewers are 3-0 after sweeping the Chicago Cubs. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes, great to have you with us tonight. There is Brad Mills, the skipper of the Houston Astros. It has been a rough season for Houston, although they are coming off back-to-back wins against the St. Louis Cardinals. And Mills' lineup tonight brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, Michael Bourne, Jose Altuve, Jason Bourgeois. The middle 3 is Pence, Lee, and Sanchez, with Barmas, Quintero, and Lyles rounding it out. And the starting 9 for the Houston Astros that will face the former Astro, Randy Wolf, who's ready to work, but the music's not quite finished yet.
Hey, got to start on time. That's a good sign. Pitcher ready to go.
And it doesn't affect him. He starts with strike 1, and away we go tonight.
Yeah, Randy Wolf has been victimized by lack of run support. He's got that 6-8 record, but look at the earned run average, just a touch over 3.6 for the earned run average. Particularly good his last 3 starts. He's allowed only 7 runs in his last 20 in the 3rd innings. Got to get him some runs tonight.
Been a lot of low scoring, tight ball games here on this homestand. And you see what Randy Wolf has done his last 3 outings. His last time out was against the Giants. Took the loss against San Francisco, gave up just 3 earned runs in 6 innings. Back-to-back losses on the last road trip, but pitched pretty well on the last road trip. Just nothing to show for it for Randy Wolf.
He's pitched well all year. He's had maybe 1 or 2 starts where he has given up some runs, but he deserves much better than that 6-8 record.
Randy Wolf has not won a game since the 24th of June. Michael Bourne, all-star leadoff hitter for the Houston Astros. Astros come in at 35-70. They are 21.5 back. Brad Mills trying to keep things positive. They are in the middle of an ownership change. Drayton McClain selling the ball club to Jim Crane, and that ownership change should consummate in the next month or so as Wolf strikes out Michael Bourne. And 1 gone here in the first, and that is how Randy Wolf's night begins here at Miller Park. Defensively, it's Braun, Morgan, and Hart in the outfield. On the left side, Casey McGee and Yudesky Betancourt. Felipe Lopez is back as a Brewer. He starts tonight with fielder at first and George Kataris, as he normally does. He catches Randy Wolf, and you see that last call on the outside corner.
Always an important pitch for Wolf, that 4-seam fastball on the outside corner to both lefties and righties.
Jose Altuve. A pop up over the fielder. There is out number 2. Well, we caught up with Rick Kranitz, the Brewer pitching coach. We asked him about Randy Wolf and his key to success tonight.
You know, it's always tough when you get new guys coming in the lineup, you know, and I guess they got a new kid in there, number 2 hitter. So, I mean, he's not going to do anything different. He's still going to pitch to his strengths. He's still going to, you know, do what he does. I think, you know, throw his curveball and his changeup and locate his fastball.
He's done a nice job setting up his fastball. I mean, that's been the pitch for him this year for me. That fastball away, getting some strikeouts with it, is able to command it on the outside corner. That's always a big key.
Jason Bourgeois, the former Brewer, batting 3rd for the Astros tonight. Been swinging a hot bat lately. Not your prototypical 3-hole hitter in the major leagues, but the Astros have not lost since he has been hitting 3rd. They have back-to-back wins against St. Louis, 2 road wins, including a victory last night for Houston.
So if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Keep him in there.
Amen.
Hitting .370.
And he whistles one to center field, a base hit. So Bourgeois, a 2-out single. And here comes the most talked about name in the trade rumors today, Hunter Pence. At one point, the Astros were making the statement he was untradeable. He was a guy that they would not trade. They're going to build their franchise around. But as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline, which is 3 o'clock Central Time tomorrow, or rather Sunday, Hunter Pence's name continues to surface, and there are a lot of reports coming out right now that Pence is headed to Philadelphia. Obviously, these are not reports that have been issued by the teams themselves, but a number of writers are reporting that Pence is headed to Philadelphia.
And the Astros the last couple of years have traded away some pretty good talent. You know, both position players and on the mound. Roy Oswalt last year, Berkman. Well, you trade Hunter Pence away, not much left from some of those good teams that the Astros put together. But you can only trade guys that are tradable. I mean, that's what you have to do. They have to load up their minor league system. Not much left. That would be a big loss for the Astros.
You see what he has done at Miller Park. A career .295 hitter, a ton of games here, 35 games. And he is a big threat in their lineup. A .309 hitter, 11 homers, 62 runs batted in. He is the right-handed bat that a number of contenders are looking for. 2-0 to count, and Pence takes it upstairs. 3-0 on Pence with Carlos Lee to follow.
Yeah, the only real power in the lineup is Pence and Lee. I mean, this is a team that doesn't hit many homers, only 59 this year. Only the San Diego Padres have hit fewer home runs than the Astros. They're third in the league in batting average, but way down in runs.
And a team that is hard to figure. They hit for a .262 batting average. That's third in the league with the lack of home runs. You figure this is a team that chips away a little bit, but they certainly have the media guide that proves differently, especially when you get into the middle of their order with Pence and Carlos Lee.
You know, except for the home runs, they're very similar when you look at their statistics to the Cubs. You know, pitching hasn't been very good. Defense has been dreadful, just like Chicago.
And a team that has already lost 70 games this year. Runner goes. The pitch is inside for a ball. So a 2-out single by Bourgeois. Hunter Pence draws the walk, and here comes Carlos Lee.
Yeah, trying to bust him inside. You know, Randy will try and do that once in a while. It didn't miss by much. He gets hitters looking away with the curveball, and we'll try and backdoor that cut fastball once in a while. And a lot of times a hitter will not swing at that pitch. That's why you have to try and throw it for a strike.
Quick trip to the mound for George Gutaris. Tim Timmons is the home plate umpire. Jeff Kellogg, Eric Cooper, and Mark Carlson on the bases. And Ron Renicky hoping to keep this winning streak alive. The Brewers have won 3 straight. Runners go. At least one runner does. Bourgeois steals third base. Got a walking lead and easily swipes third base.
And Hunter Pence did the right thing. Had to make sure that Bourgeois was going to get the third and not, you know, take a couple of steps and stop. If you don't get a good jump at first, just stay put.
So Bourgeois with number 19, first and third with 2 gone. And Lee takes one a little bit low. 2 balls, no strikes. Carlos Lee hitting .280, 10 homers, 60 runs batted in. And that one is in the air, shallow right. Felipe Lopez is back. He wants it. He's got it. And he's officially a Brewer again. We head to the bottom of the first. Hart, Morgan, and Braun will start it off against rookie Jordan Lyles. Take multiple trips down that slide here today. After that one, he only slides for home runs. Corey Hart ready to lead off. Here is Ron Renicky's batting order, brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. It's Hart, Morgan, and Braun. Prince Fielder, and then Felipe Lopez immediately goes into the 5 hole with Casey McGee batting 6th, and then it's Betancourt, Gutaris, and Randy Wolf rounding it out against 20-year-old rookie right-hander Jordan Lyles.
Yeah, don't let the numbers fool you. This guy's pretty good. He had some good numbers down in the minor leagues. He started out in AAA this year. Only 20 years old. I mean, here's a guy that was born in 1990. That's a first for me, looking at the media guide and seeing a guy in the big leagues born in 1990.
Bouncing ball to short. Barmas with a good arm makes the play, and Hart is retired. Let's check the Astros defensively. Jason Bourgeois, Michael Bourne, and Hunter Pence in the outfield. It's a very fast outfield. Angel Sanchez, Glenn Barmas, Jose Altuve, and Carlos Lee around the horn, with Humberto Quintero catching. The 20-year-old Lyles, who is from Florence, North Carolina, and he is the second youngest player in the major leagues right now to Mike Trout of the Angels, who is 19. So he's the youngest player in the National League, Jordan Lyles, facing Nyjer Morgan.
And just like Randy Wolf has been victimized by lack of run support in his 10 starts. You saw the 0-5 record. The Astros on his starts 1-9, so he hasn't had much luck.
Scouts just rave about Lyles. He is the prize of the Astros minor league system, which at this moment is one of the worst minor league systems in baseball. But Lyles is certainly one of those players to keep an eye on, and he's getting a chance maybe a lot earlier in his professional career than even he had expected at 20 years of age. And a swing and a miss. Nyjer Morgan strikes out. 2 up and 2 down here in the first inning. So here comes Ryan Braun. We talked about Braun in the open tonight and how good he has been, not just lately, but his career. Adds to the Brewers' Powerball home run count total, now 116 home runs as a team this season. Braun has 21 of those home runs.
That is good of start in all of baseball. You're talking about a guy in his 5th year. I mentioned on the open 7th year. It's his 5th year, obviously. But impossible to pitch to. Very tough to defend because he goes line to line. And he is red hot right now.
In the Triple Crown categories, batting average, home runs, and RBIs, Braun second in the league in average, 6th in homers, 4th in runs batted in. And on this homestand, he is 6 out of 12. He has found that power stroke again. Has 5 homers in his last 10 games. And even though he is not running at 100%, he is swinging at 100%.
Yeah, it hasn't hurt him swinging the bat, that's for sure. A lot of times a leg problem will, sometimes make you vulnerable on the outside corner, maybe on the inside corner. But it doesn't seem like it's an issue for Brawny.
The Brewers are getting their first look at this young pitcher, Jordan Lyles, who matches up against Milwaukee for the first time in his career. Made his major league debut on the 31st of May. And he pitches inside. He gets a friendly call from Tim Timmons, and it's 3-2 on Braun.
And he only throws about 90 to 91 miles an hour, so he's got to keep guys honest off that outside corner. And just catches the edge.
See what it gives him. 3-2. 2 men are out in the first, and Braun fights it off. Ryan Braun, still just 27 years of age, and already with 149 career homers. 3-2 pitch, and Braun a bouncer back up the middle. This is Barmas, and the inning is over. Lyles a 1-2-3 first. We head to the second at Miller Park. It's the Brewers and the Astros tonight. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, and it's the Brewers and the Astros. First of 3 this weekend. A festive atmosphere in Milwaukee. The sun is finally out. Beautiful day here today. As Randy Wolf faces Angel Sanchez to lead off. Sanchez hitting in the 6th hole for Houston. Strohs put 2 on in the first. A 2-out single by Bourgeois, then Pence walked before Randy Wolf retired Carlos Lee.
A dangerous pitch. It was a cutter to Carlos Lee, and he jammed himself, and an easy out to right. Well, it looked like Randy was going to get through that first inning relatively easily, but not the case.
Angel Sanchez. See his numbers against Milwaukee this year as Wolf finds the inside corner. Not a lot of household names up and down this Houston batting order outside of Bourne, Pence, and Lee. And there's a base hit. Sanchez to right. A leadoff single. And we check in with Telly Hughes. How you doing tonight, Telly?
I'm doing well, BA. Felipe Lopez was reacquired by the Brewers yesterday and from the Tampa Bay Rays, and I had a chance to catch up with him, and he said he is thrilled to be back in Milwaukee. As we recall, he was a Brewer in the 2009 season when Ricky Weeks went down with an injury. Felipe Lopez came in, played second base, and did a great job for the Brewers. And in talking to Ron Renicky, he said that he provides a little pop in that lineup, and plus on top of that, he's a switch hitter, and he's the only switch hitter on the Brewers active roster. So it's good to see Felipe Lopez a Brewer once again, BA.
All right, thanks, Telly. And Rock, he feels comfortable here. He has a lot of good friends on this club, guys he trains with in the offseason in Orlando, guys like Prince Fielder, Ricky Weeks, Mike Rivera's part of that group. Will Nieves, no longer a Brewer, but he was also part of that group. So he knows this organization, even though he only spent a couple of months with Milwaukee back in 09.
Yeah, 09. I mean, he hit over 320. I mean, he looked like a pretty good hitter. He's had his struggles over the last couple of years staying in the big leagues. But, you know, when he came over in 09, the Brewers are right in the thick of the pennant race in the Central Division, 3 games back in the middle part of July. So he's well familiarized with the team and being in a pennant race. Good guy to be able to pick up. You know, in an emergency with Ricky Weeks, probably going to be down about a month.
And just talking to Doug Melvin and Gordash earlier today, the general manager and assistant general manager, Felipe Lopez, because of that history with this team and the fact that he knows so many of these players, it would be an easy transition. Much better option than what is available right now in the middle infield. And it is interesting watching this setup tonight. Here we are 2 years later. But remember when Ricky Weeks was hurt in 09, it was Casey McGee who actually started to get some playing time at second base. McGee had played very little second base at the time, and he started swinging the bat so well they moved him to third base, and then they went out and made the deal for Lopez. Lopez was acquired on the 20th of July in 09, and the Brewers, as Rock mentioned, were 3 back at the time. They were right in the middle of a pennant race. So Felipe goes from a AAA ball club in Durham in the Tampa Bay Rays organization to a first place team in the big leagues.
And he is going to get a lot of playing time. Ron Renicky said it's his job, but he's going to have to hit. That's never really been an issue for Lopez. He's always been a good hitter. And there's no reason to think that he will not be motivated playing for a first place club.
As a matter of fact, Prince Fielder actually said he will handle the motivation part of it. He will personally tend to Felipe Lopez as Wolf strikes out Clint Barmas for out number 1.
And tomorrow the Brewers take on the Astros at 6:10 p.m. The first 15,000 fans 21 and older will receive a Brewers and Miller Lite beer vendor bobblehead. That's compliments of triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness.
1 gone, a runner at first for Humberto Quintero, the Astros catcher. Quintero 6 for 14 against the Brewers this year. He's actually swung the bat much better, not only against Milwaukee, but against Randy Wolf compared to his overall numbers. He's a .429 hitter against the Brewers this season. And in his career against Randy Wolf, he's hitting .357.
And the Astros are a much better club against left-handed starters. And we know that they're 35 games under 500, but the Astros coming into tonight's game when the left-handed starters on the mound, they're 15-15. They're at 500, so they've played pretty well against lefties. This is a heavy concentration of right-handed bats for the Astros.
Astros winning in St. Louis last night. They had a couple of tight ball games against the Cardinals the last 2 nights. Similar story with both clubs leading up to tonight's game. The Astros getting back-to-back saves for the first time this year in consecutive games. Mark Melancon saved the last 2 nights. Meanwhile, John Axford has saved the last 3 games and is now at 30 saves on the season. Francisco Rodriguez has also pitched in the last 3 games. So both clubs with questions on who might close it out tonight if it gets into that situation. And a swing and a miss. 3-2. Wolf threw him a changeup.
He's thrown a couple of them already tonight. Wolfie, since the second batter, he had 2 outs, nobody on in the first, having a tough time getting ahead in the count. Very unusual, for Randy this year.
Randy looked like he thought there were 2 outs in the inning. Just one. That's a good thing to know before you make the next pitch, though.
Right.
In case a double play ball came your way.
Yeah, it's important to know the outs in the count. I mean, that's imperative. That's the first thing you got to know when you're on the mound, in the field, or on the on-deck circle.
Now, the umpire will show you the count after every pitch. You're on your own for the outs, though.
Now you got a scoreboard.
Full count to Quintero batting 8th. Got the pitcher coming up next. Sanchez takes off, and that one is lifted in the air. Fielder foul territory, and he makes a play. 2 outs. I think Prince Fielder's going for the Brian Wilson look here. That beard is getting almost rubber band quality.
Yeah, he's no trimming of that thing right now, is there?
Got a chance.
He'd look good in a beard.
Nice. I could never grow a beard like that. No way.
Be a lot of holes in it.
Patchy. Look like my yard. A few weeds in there. A little bit of gray. On the first pitch, Lyles bounces over to McGee, and the inning is over. 2 scoreless for the left-hander. Brewers coming up. Prince and his beard will lead off. Inning at Miller Park. And Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors showcases the ultimate in outdoor programming. Every Saturday and Sunday morning, experience everything from the pursuit of fish and game to exploring the best weekend destinations. Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors, presented by Menards, Saturdays 6 a.m., Sundays 8 a.m. only on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Good crowd tonight on a Friday night. Beautiful Friday night. The roof is open finally. It was open yesterday for most of the game. Saw some rain in the area, but not a cloud in the sky today. And we're set up for a great weekend of weather. Middle leg of this homestand. The Brewers will bring in the Cardinals on Monday. Fielder leads off, takes a ball from Jordan Lyles. Prince comes in batting .286, has 23 home runs, and he's driven in 74. Fielder is fourth in the league in home runs right now. Lance Berkman leads the league with 27, but Berkman is still out of the lineup for the Cardinals with a shoulder injury. Got a cortisone shot the other day. I noticed the Cardinals were using Berkman as a decoy yesterday, but they actually used Kyle Loesch with 2 outs in the 9th inning as their last hitter.
It tells you that that injury for Berkman's not quite right. Not ready yet. Normally when you get a cortisone shot, it's minimum 2 days, maybe 3 that you have to sit out. Let that cortisone take its effect and do what it does. That's a big loss in that Cardinals lineup.
Imagine Tony La Russa being forced to use a pitcher at the plate, down 2 runs in the 9th inning last night. Fielder rips one to right, but right at Hunter Pence. Man, that ball was smoked. But Pence is there, and it is out number 1. And here comes Felipe Lopez. He is back in a Brewers uniform, and he'll hit for the first time as we check in with Craig Cashon.
I had a chance to talk with him earlier as well, and you know the difference he said between 2009 and making his second stint with the Brewers right now. He said a lot of familiar faces, but he said not with the pitching staff. He said that's the biggest thing that he's noticed is how good this pitching staff is. He says, you know, everyone from the outside is marveling at what the Brewers have been able to put together as he leads off. First pitch, base hit right here, and he's in a much better situation simply pitching wise being with this club this time around.
And you know he can do that. Felipe Lopez, he can swing it. He's a switch hitter. Was hitting over 300 down in AAA.
And very good from both the right side of the plate and the left side of the plate. Good contact hitter. He's got gap power.
It's got to feel good to get the first one out of the way. So Lopez in his first Brewer at bat. He delivers a single, and here is Casey McGee.
Yeah, he had a nice offensive player in Felipe Lopez, and that's exactly what the Brewers need right now. They didn't score too many runs in that Chicago series. They were able to sweep the Cubs. What was it, 9 runs they scored? Only scored 7 runs in that Giants series.
The Brewers outscored the Cubs 9-4. Had a shutout on the middle game on Wednesday. That was a 2-0 shutout, but every game against the Chicago Cubs was a tight one. As a matter of fact, the Brewers have not had a win or loss of more than 3 runs going back to the Arizona series on the 21st of July. So they have all been tight lately, the last 6 ball games.
37 one-run games for the Brewers. They're 23-14. Well, that's a lot of close games. And the Brewers have found themselves on top most of the time. 9 games over 500 in close games.
2 balls and a strike on McGee. Jordan Lyles giving up a 1-out hit to Lopez, and McGee fouls it away. Well, if the Brewers want to return a favor to their manager for once, especially with a bullpen that has been highly active, very successful but highly active, a lopsided offensive throwdown would be exactly what the manager ordered tonight.
He doesn't ask for those very often, but the last time he asked for one, he got one. I forget who they were playing.
Yeah, he's asking now. As McGee whistles one out to Barmes to second for one. The turn in time. Tough break for Casey McGee. Hit it right on the nose. And a good play by Clint Barmes. Presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Subway. Try our $5 featured footlong of the month. Subway, where winners eat. Back at Miller Park, 2 in the books here against the Astros. And a scoreless ball game as we head to the third. Top of the order coming up, Michael Bourne. And a couple of former Phillies matching up against each other, Bourne and Randy Wolf. Bourne, a native Texan. He's been one of the few bright spots for the Astros this season. Bourne's from Nimitz High School in Houston.
And a good breaking ball from Randy Wolf has him waving at one out in front. Not too many faster on the bases than Michael Bourne. You know, infield hits, stolen bases, bunt base hits. He has a knack for getting on base. A pretty good .366 on base percentage.
Now, Bourne has led the league in stolen bases the last 2 years and is leading all of baseball in steals this year with 39. He's having a big road trip. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bourne. He was an all-star last year. And a slow curveball got him. A Sunday softball special from Randy Wolf.
58 miles an hour. He finally threw one below 60. We've been waiting all year, and here it is. And he gets a strikeout with it. You know, Wolfie from time to time will be in the low 60s with a curveball, but you know, take a look at a 58-mile-an-hour curveball.
I think he and Zach Greinke have quietly had this competition on who can throw the slowest. As Altuve swings at the first pitch for the second consecutive at bat, and there is out number 2.
Hey, it's the 10th anniversary of Miller Park, so come out and see what's new to love about the place your Brewers call home as they take on the Cardinals Monday through Wednesday. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. Yeah, Greinke was flipping up a curveball about 65 miles an hour the other day. Not many, couple.
He's got some work to do to get it into the 50s.
That'll keep you guessing up there at the plate, though.
Wouldn't even win a prize at the speed pitch with that. Jason Bourgeois had a hit in the first inning. Talked about Michael Bourne from Houston. Bourgeois also from Houston, and those 2 players were on the same Little League team in Houston. and now they're on the same big league team. Michael Bourne and Jason Bourgeois, childhood friends.
Former Brewer Jason Bourgeois.
Well, with Bourgeois' hit tonight, it was a 2-out single in the first. He is now 8 for his last 14. And that is why he is hitting third in this Astros batting order.
And ordinarily a tough guy to strike out, so he draws a walk. This is somewhat the way the first inning started. 2 quick outs, and then the Astros got something going. Randy having a tough time with his command tonight, and it's not coming to him as it's been for most of the season.
And pitching coach Rick Kranitz keeping a watchful eye on his starter. Well, the starting pitching has been a big part of the story. As Bourgeois takes off, no chance for Kataris. And Bourgeois has his second steal, immediately into scoring position for Hunter Pence.
Yep, not a big lead, but he went on first move. Lulled Wolf to sleep, thinking with a small lead he's not going to run, but he took off right away.
Now 20 steals for Bourgeois. Jason stole third in the first inning, and now he swipes second here in the third. And a base hit will give the Astros the lead. Popped him up. Randy Wolf looking out at Kataris, and in foul territory, George makes a play. And the inning is over. So Pence and Lee both put out with runners in scoring position. Inning, no score at Miller Park, Milwaukee. And Yuniesky Betancourt will lead off, and Rock Betancourt is on some kind of run, and you can take it back to the 20th of June. He leads all shortstops in the National League in batting average since that point, hitting at a .324 clip in over a month's worth of games.
And it looks like a different hitter since the second half began. Actually, since that Arizona series at Chase Field, he's just much more unbalanced. He's got better mechanics, and I think he's been a little bit more patient at the plate. I mean, you saw some of those highlights of his swing. He's really out in front a lot in the first half of the season, reaching for the baseball, but staying back just like that. And because of that, he's got a lot more power. He's driving the ball much better. Hey, Tuesday, August 16th is Time Warner Cable Customer Appreciation Night. Find a buy one, get one free Terrace ticket voucher for that game with your most recent Time Warner Cable statement. That's good while supplies last.
Brewers have some hard hit balls tonight, and not much to show for it. Just the one hit off Jordan Lyles. As George Kataris will bat with one away. George with 2 home runs, 10 runs batted in.
Last 2 hitters for the Brewers have hit the ball right on the nose. Well, actually, the last 4 for that matter. Prince's line out. Lopez with the base hit. Casey stung that ground ball to Barmes, to end the second.
Little tapper out to Altuve. 2 up and 2 down for Lyles. Jordan Lyles, he was the Astros minor league pitcher of the year last year. Story goes he was so impressive when the Astros worked him out when he was coming out of high school and he was going to be in the draft. Ed Wade, the general manager, watched him and spoke about his poise, his presence. He said he looked like a big leaguer when he was 18 years old, and here he is at 20 already in the big leagues. He was a first rounder in 08 and already in the major leagues in 2011.
What were you doing when you were 20? Were you ready for the big leagues at any job?
Still not.
That's amazing, though. As young as he is, I mean, they say he's got about as much poise as anybody on their pitching staff, and he pitches like it. I mean, not afraid to come inside, not afraid to take a little bit off. He throws all 4 pitches. He'll throw them for strikes. This has not been able to get the run support to get a win.
Well, he has been impressive tonight. He has faced the minimum. He has given up a hit, but got a double play.
Said it's been a pitcher's duel so far. Only 3 hits allowed. Jordan Lyles has been pitching well, the 20-year-old rookie for the Astros, but Randy Wolf has been able to get several punch outs on his fastball as well as his Ephus pitch. His big curveball has gotten Michael Bourne a couple times. Felipe Lopez making his Brewer re-debut, I guess you could call it. He's a Brewer once again, and in his first at bat, he will pick up a hit. The only hit the Brewers been able to get so far here in the top of the 4th, B.A.
All right, Telly, thanks. And we head to the 4th with Carlos Lee leading off for Houston. Astros have had some chances tonight. They had 2 on with 2 out in the first inning, and Lee popped up to end it. There's a broken bat liner. Ryan Braun on the run. He's there. Braun runs it down. That ball actually had some slice to it, believe it or not, down the left field line.
There's a cutter in on his hands, and Lee got it down on the trademark just enough to keep it in the yard. Only 10 home runs for Carlos Lee, which is absolutely amazing to me, given he plays half of his games in a ballpark that has a left field fence at about 315 feet away.
So 1 gone, and it's Angel Sanchez for Houston. Most of the time, a ball down the left field line is going to hook. It's going to move away from the left fielder. Braun was actually able to pull in the reins a little bit. That one had a little slice to it.
Had some reverse spin on it. I mean, the inside out stroke for Carlos, and got it down on the hands a little bit. Brownie's moving around a little bit better in the outfield than he was about 3-4 days ago.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's good to see him actually with some explosion out there. He had a great first step. He was flying after that ball. He didn't need all that. He was there just in case. All right, Rock, it's time for our carsoup.com email to boots question tonight. Rebecca in Menominee Falls is asking, when a player is traded, you often hear a change of scenery might be good for him, and she wants to know why.
Maybe a different role. I guess change of scenery is good for Lopez in that he goes from AAA to the big leagues. That's a good change of scenery for a guy.
Into a pennant race in the big leagues.
Hey, you're playing every day down in AAA. You come up and you're going to get an opportunity to play every day at the big league level, and for a first place team. He knows a lot of guys, and sometimes you get labeled in an organization. You get traded and they look at you in a certain way, and whatever you do, you can't shake that. Different guys around you, maybe they act different toward you. You're more of a positive clubhouse. A lot of different things can contribute to that.
Lopez from a rough background, rough upbringing, and certainly has that reputation as Sanchez lifts one to right. Hart has to reach up to make the catch. Needs all of that 6-6 frame. And out number 2 here in the 4th inning. Our AT&T trivia tonight: who were the top 2 base stealers in the National League in 2009? Speaking of Lopez and his year as a Brewer. But Lopez has played for a lot of teams. He certainly has that reputation, but that has not proven itself to be true here in Milwaukee. At least it didn't in 09.
No.
Lazy pop-up. Fielder's going to say, that's my ball. Kelly Leak here makes the play. 1-2-3 inning for Randy Wolf.
Checking with the crew in the community. Join the Brewers Community Foundation as they host the 8th annual Evening with Hank Aaron, August 11th from 5 to 8 in Miller Park's Nice Stadium Club. Our own Davey Nelson will MC the event. All proceeds benefit the Hank Aaron Chasing the Dream Foundation, and also it will help children in the Milwaukee area realize their dreams. For more information, contact Brewers Community Foundation at 414-902-4501. B.A.?
All right, Telly, thanks. A great event. And we tip our hat to Katina Shaw and Cecilia Gore.
Davey Nelson never go home.
Davey's got a lot of gigs going, doesn't he?
I'm telling you what, that guy's the busiest guy in this ballpark.
That's because he does such a good job at everything. If you ever want to find out about a former Brewer and where he is now, Davey's got the answer, because he handles, as part of his duties, he handles the alumni.
All of us former Brewers get an alumni newsletter every month. And Davey interviews one of the former Brewers. It's a nice thing to have.
Swing and a miss. Corey Hardy is down on strikes, and Jordan Lyles, just now getting into the second time through the batting order, starts the fourth with a strikeout, and it's Nigel Morgan. This guy looks good.
Yeah, talked to Dale around the batting cage. Said not many of the guys have ever seen his kid. They do have video on him, but you know how far that goes. I mean, only so far. You got to see what his pitches do in the strike zone. Ordinarily, you know, hitters are going to make adjustments. Let's see if Lyles does the same. There's a big looping curveball, one of the few he's thrown in this game.
His mechanics are sound. He looks like a guy that's going to hold up for a while. Interesting comment I heard from a scout today, and you can decipher this. He said the whole package is better than the parts.
I get
Jordan
that.
Lyles.
Yeah, right. And none of his pitches are all that impressive. I mean, he's got average stuff, but when you take his mentality and his makeup and or the way he's able to throw strikes, fields his position pretty well, it turns into a pretty good big league prospect.
0-2 to Morgan, and he lays off. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nigel Morgan, looking for his first hit. Nigel hitting .322 when the day started.
A lot of guys throughout history that have come up from the minor leagues with big arms and nasty pitches, but have never able to put it together.
Morgan pulls one over to Carlos Lee, and this will be out number 2. The only hit for Milwaukee. Back to our AT&T trivia. Who are the top 2 base stealers in the National League in '09? Michael Bourne of the Astros and Nigel Morgan, then of the Washington Nationals.
I figured Bourne was one of the 2, but I didn't figure on Nigel Morgan. That's a good question.
Ryan Braun with 2 away. He bounced out in the first inning. Jordan Lyles has faced the minimum. He gave up a single in the second, immediately got a double play. The Brewers have 2 of the top 4 run producers in the National League in Braun and Fielder. Ryan Howard leads the league. He has 77. And then Matt Kemp, Fielder with 74, Braun with 71.
And the Brewers and Ron Renicky looking for that consistency around those 2 guys, Braun and Fielder. Looking for some offense, and he is hoping that Felipe Lopez is going to be able to contribute.
Braun takes a strike right at the bottom of the zone, and he's not pleased with that call from Timmons. 3-2 the count.
A pretty good pitch, but you don't want to swing at that pitch. That's a ground ball pitch. A little sink to it as it got to home plate.
3-2. Braun gets jammed, and Hunter Pence will make the catch. Jordan Lyles, 4 shutout. He's given up just 1 hit. We head to the 5th inning at Miller Park.
Consecutive game which they've surrendered 3 runs or fewer. Now this staff as a unit of 5 has missed only the 7 starts Zach Greinke missed to begin his year. Chris Narveson told me today all of the starters could be the guy to get off the loss or keep this win streak going right now. Their confidence level very high. Randy Wolf continues to cruise here midway through this game. Brian and Bill.
All right, Craig, thanks. And you know what's interesting about Randy Wolf as you see his line tonight, 4 shutout innings. The fact that Wolf with 6 wins has the fewest number of wins among the 5 starters and yet has the 2nd lowest earned run average among the 5 starters.
Yeah, 3.62, and he has pitched well. He may very well be one of the most consistent starters for the Brewers, if not the most consistent when you consider the beginning of the year till where we are right now.
Humberto Quintero in the air to center field. Nigel Morgan is there. And out number 1.
Well, tonight's tower of the game winner is the Wishing Well Bar and Grill in Appleton. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
You look up and down the Brewers starting 5. The fact that they have pretty much been intact since Greinke returned in early May. Got Markham, Wolf, and Gallardo all with earned run averages under 4. All ERAs in the 3. Markham is at 3.33. Wolf at 3.62 to start the day. Gallardo at 3.89. Narveson's ERA is 4.41 when Zach Greinke at 4.5 for an earned run average. The best winner right now is Gallardo with 11. Got Gallardo and Markham who have both won in double digits. And I think the addition of Francisco Rodriguez, Rock, has shortened the game a great deal because Axford is closing, and I think the starters have certainly taken an extra step and now going deeper into ball games, and we're seeing terrific pitching for Milwaukee.
Yeah, the opposition doesn't have a lead after 7 innings. They're in trouble with those 2 guys backing up that bullpen. We've seen it the last 3 days against the Cubs. Perfect innings out of the bullpen, or near perfect. Haven't given up a run in a while. And that bullpen gets stronger the more you use the guys at the end of the bullpen. You keep those middle to long relievers out of the game, and that's how you win. The Brewers have their team earned run average under 4 at 3.94. 3rd fewest walks in the National League for a pitching staff. That doesn't hurt you. And not much you can complain about with the Brewers pitching staff this year.
The Brewers bullpen has posted 10 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings. That covers 4 games. And Rick Kranitz, first-year pitching coach, pleased with the numbers. Lyles to right after a long battle. Wolf finally retires him for out number 2. Hey, log on to FoxSportsWisconsin.com for complete coverage of Coach Brett Bielema and the Wisconsin Badgers at Big Ten Media Day. FoxSportsWisconsin.com. Brett Bielema is going to join us on Monday, I believe. He's coming out to see the Brew Crew. Let's see if we can get him on the air.
Yeah.
We got room.
He's done a nice job with the Badger football team. Anxious to hear what he's got up his sleeve this year.
So get your football questions ready for Monday, Rob.
Nebraska in the Big Ten now. Or are they calling it the Big 11?
Well, it's actually the Big. There's 12 teams now.
Okay, 12. So there's 2 Big 12s?
But there's already a Big 12. So the Big 10 stays. It's all about marketing and branding, Rock. You should know that better than anybody.
I'm just saying. Nebraska is in the mix now. That's all you had to agree to. That's going to be interesting. Nebraska and the Badgers.
The Husker Nation.
Yeah.
Has invaded the Big 10, 11, or 12. I'm told they have Big 10 logos. You know how they always work the logo, the number of teams inside the logo. That's the Big 10.
Right.
They have logos that go all the way up to 16, 18 teams.
Right.
Just in case.
Stay tuned.
The ever-growing Big 10. And our friends over at the Big 10 Network.
And a good cutter. Apparently missed the outside corner.
Another 2-strike pitch. That slow curveball Bourne lays off. That's the pitch that Wolf struck him out on in the 3rd inning. And another full count for Randy Wolf. 2 outs in the 5th. And that one hits the corner. A called strike 3. Randy Wolf has retired 7 straight. And now with 4 strikeouts, he's punched out Bourne 3 times tonight. Back at Miller Park in Milwaukee. And a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. And there is breaking news. Hunter Pence obviously traded. There have been a number of reports that have him traded to the Philadelphia Phillies, and he is very emotional now.
Yeah.
They just pulled him out of the game.
Yeah, it looks like it's done.
So Hunter Pence is headed, I believe, to Philadelphia, according to FoxSports.com. Ken Rosenthal, and it's a very interesting moment here as we're in the middle of a ball game. All of these reports are surfacing that Pence has been traded. Ken Rosenthal even had the names of the pieces that will be coming to Houston as Jason Michaels takes over for Hunter Pence.
That's not something you see very often, pulling a guy out in the middle of a game. Even when there's an impending trade, a lot of times the guy won't play at all. You take him out because if he gets hurt, then it's not going to be a deal. So you take him out. He's now the property of whoever it is. We're assuming that it's Philadelphia. We don't know.
Fielder whistles one to right. That is going to shoot the gap. It's going to go to the wall. And Fielder chugging his way to second base with a double. A leadoff double for Milwaukee.
Right, Prince has squared up a couple of times on Lyles here tonight. 1 and out. This one a bullet into the gap in right center. Hits it so hard, rolls all the way to the wall.
Fielder safe at second, safe and secure. New York Life. Ken Rosenthal is reporting that the Astros will receive first baseman Jonathan Singleton, prospect right-handed pitcher Jared Cozart, and 2 players to be named later. A 4-for-1 trade for Pence. As Lopez slices one to left, a base hit, and Felipe Lopez with 2 hits.
Well, welcome back, Felipe Lopez. You can't get off to a much better start than that, huh? Get the fans on your side. Somewhere in that dugout is a smile for Ron Renicky, I would imagine. Well, you lose your all-star second baseman, and you get a guy from AAA and from the Tampa Bay Rays, and he's 2 for 2. 2 of the 3 hits belong to Lopez tonight.
So Lopez with 2 singles, and now it's first and third against Jordan Lyles with nobody out. Golden opportunity for Milwaukee as Casey McGee steps up. McGee fouls it away. Now the Astros without their best player the rest of this series, Hunter Pence. No doubt will be showering up, packing up his stuff, and stepping right into a pennant race, and he'll join a first place team in Philadelphia if the reports are true that he has been traded to the Phillies.
In game 38 games in the standings.
That's right.
In one day. And Philadelphia on top of the Pittsburgh Pirates in Philly, 8-0.
He'll go from a 35-win team to a 65-win team overnight. You know, the Phillies and the Astros have made deals before. Last year, Jay Happ came to Houston in that Roy Oswalt trade. Ed Wade, the general manager of the Astros, a former GM of the Philadelphia Phillies, and they have a connection there. Boy, the embarrassment of riches for the Phillies is now they put Hunter Pence in right field.
Yeah. Must be nice, huh?
Ball and a strike, and McGee fouls it away.
Yeah, think of the players that the Astros have lost in the trading deadline 2 years in a row.
The faces of their franchise.
Right, Berkman, Oswalt, and now Hunter Pence.
It surprises me that the Astros would trade Pence. He's the one guy you can build a franchise around.
Right, young, talented, not making much.
Casey, a little tapper. Fielder coming to the plate. That ball's going to stay fair. The throw, not in time. An infield hit for McGee. Fielder scores. And the Brewers are on the board in the 5th inning.
Yeah, that baby stayed right on the grass. Had it gone onto the dirt, it probably would have rolled foul, but a swinging butt for Casey McGee. And the Brewers on the board first. Pretty good pitch by Lyles. Casey able to Tap it down the line. You can see it stay on the grass, and a base hit and an RBI.
An emphatic score for Prince Fielder. And the plate is a couple of inches lower now. 1-0, first and second, nobody out. Betancourt takes a ball. On the flip side with the Phillies, though, you got to give them credit. Not only are they in a position to win their 5th consecutive division title, and you have to start thinking about them as a National League dynasty at this point, but they have enough in the minor leagues to make these kinds of trades.
Right.
They've been able to build up and make a run at it. A bouncer got a chance for 2 here, a little indecision, and they will not turn a double play.
Oh, what was that?
Anel Sanchez did not know what to do with a baseball, and it cost him.
Yeah, you got to get rid of it right away. I mean, he thought about tagging the runner, Lopez, as he was going to third base. Ended up not being able to get Lopez and not able to get the double play. When the ball gets to you, you have to know what you're going to do with it before it happens. Kind of caught in between, and because of that, the Brewers still in business, only 1 out. They're just too far away to run to the bag.
Here's George Kataris. First and third, 1 out. The Brewers with 3 hits in this inning. 1 run is in. And Kataris drops a bunt down. And a possible squeeze there that Felipe Lopez either did not recognize, or maybe it was Kataris who missed the sign. Somebody missed it.
Well, a lot of times the runner at third base will get a verbal sign from Eddie Cedar. He'll just say it's on, don't leave too early. I'm not sure what happened there.
And it's 0-2 on Kataris. Well, down in AAA, George hit .343 this year before his promotion. He was brought up in mid-June and is the personal catcher of Randy Wolf at this point. And a little flare. That one's going to fall. Lopez will score. George Kataris with an RBI single, a 2-strike RBI hit. 2-0 Milwaukee.
Another off-speed pitch by Lyles. This time George able to stay back and just flip it into left field. Good piece of hitting by George, not trying to do too much with it. He shortened up with 2 strikes, put the bat on the baseball, and ended up with his base hit. Yeah, good swing with 2 strikes.
And a good thing that Kataris fouled that bunt attempt away. Brad Mills is on his way to the mound. Chat with his young pitcher. Pitch count is only at 63 right now.
He's still throwing well. I mean, the only real hard hit ball was Prince's double to lead this inning off. When you look at the base hits he's given up, a couple of flares to left, an infield hit. And really, when you think about it, that ground ball that Casey hit, or I should say Betancourt, should have been a double play. But like we always say, second time through, when a team has not seen a pitcher before, big league hitters make adjustments quickly. And pitchers have to do the same.
4 hits in the inning, 2 runs are in. And Randy Wolf is coming up. Wolf's a good hitter. Randy is 7 for 37 this year at the plate. Has a couple of extra base hits among his 7 hits as well. Actually has 3 doubles this year. And he pulls that one over to Lee, bobbles. Lyles covering first and is there in time for the out. Carlos Lee did not look like a first baseman on that ground ball. And a good recovery. Altuve makes the play to Lyles covering the bag. Officially it goes 3-4-1 for the second out.
That's the way it's drawn up, isn't it? Hey fans, it's the 10th anniversary of Miller Park, and we want to hear what you love best about the place your Brewers call home. Visit brewers.com/whatilove by midnight tonight and tell us what you love, and you can win 2012 season tickets.
Corey Hart with 2 away. Back to the top of the order now. And Hart swings and a bouncer in the hole. Long throw, Barmas, and it is in time. What a play that was. Clint Barmas saves a run. And you'll see that one again tonight. That's one of the better plays in all of baseball on this Friday night. Wow.
Let's check out what's going on down on the farm. Nashville Sounds. Taylor Green went 4 for 4 with a double, 2 home runs, 6 RBI, 5 runs and 2 walks. He became the 3rd player in the franchise's 34-year history and 2nd player this season to score 5 runs in a game. We've already hit on this several times, but the Brewers reacquire Felipe Lopez from the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday in exchange for cash considerations, and Eric Ferris, who was recalled from AAA yesterday to replace the injured Ricky Weeks, was optioned back to Nashville today. B.A.
All right, thanks a lot. Even though we saw Eric earlier today working out with the club, and that was good to see. Not rejoining Nashville just yet, but he'll be headed there for tomorrow's game.
Hey, he's in the book now. He's in the book. Yeah. Baseball Encyclopedia. He's a big leaguer.
Debut is done.
That's right. I don't think we've seen the last of Eric Ferris in a Brewers uniform. Maybe not this year, but down the road. We saw him in spring training quite a bit. Very talented middle infielder.
Yeah, great defender at second base. So Randy Wolf now with a 2-0 lead. And Jose Altuve, the free swinging Astros second baseman, who started this season in Single A. Now he's here in the big leagues. Listed as 5'7". He's actually around 5'5", they say.
A little generous, you think, in the media guide?
But he can hit. He is the National League's version of Dustin Pedroia early in his big league career. So a leadoff single for Altuve. A reminder, FoxSportsWisconsin.com has launched Game Connect, a revolutionary interactive tool available during all Brewers games. Game Connect combines compelling statistical visuals with conversation on social websites to create a truly unique way for fans to get involved in the broadcast experience. Check it out now, FoxSportsWisconsin.com. Well, you got a feel for Astros fans that last inning, right? They give up 2 runs. They fall behind in this game, and their best player, the face of their franchise, taken out of the game and is seen hands and giving hugs. and on his way apparently to the Philadelphia Phillies. Straight in the middle of a game.
Yeah, making his job, Brad Mills, much more difficult without his all-star representative and perhaps best all-around player.
I know there are a lot of Astros fans, and as bad as this season has been for Houston, this is a tough blow for them. And a pickoff play at first. Altuve just does get back.
Yeah, had him leaning, looked like he was going to take off, and Prince with a good tag. We could see Altuve able to get back just barely. It's a good move by Wolfie that time.
Jason Bourgeois has been a pesky hitter for Randy Wolf. He singled in the first inning and then he walked in the third. And on each occasion when he was on base, he posted a stolen base. Bourgeois has a very confident look about him right now. He is red hot at the plate. Got in on the hands a little bit, and it's Ryan Braun for out number one.
The curveball has been a very good pitch for Randy Wolf so far. He hasn't made any mistakes with it. Keeping it down, really pulling the string every so often. Hey, fans of each non-marquee home game, you can purchase a $10 ticket in the Club Goodwill bleacher section of Miller Park. Club Goodwill seats are sold at the ticket windows in left field. Goodwill offering value in our stores, ballpark, and community.
One gone, runner at first, and here is Jason Michaels. His first trip to the plate. He came in for Hunter Pence. Astros looking at this trade season to bolster their minor league system and get some pieces. And from what I've heard and what I've been reading about the prospects that the Astros are getting, they're very good prospects. Singleton is a big first base prospect in the Phillies chain, and Jared Cozart is one of the top young pitchers in the minor leagues and high on the prospect list for the Phillies. Looks like a 4-player for 1 deal.
Yeah, the Astros picked up a prospect at first base last year, right? Brett Wallace sitting this one out here tonight. Left-handed hitter.
And that was part of that swirl of trades that involved the Blue Jays, the Astros, ultimately the Yankees. There's Brett Wallace. He's the guy that they asked to replace Lance Berkman.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, the Houston Astros have a long way to go rebuilding their system and a new ownership. They're taking the payroll down. Jim Crane will take over soon. They thought it was going to be done by now. Jim Crane bought the team from Drayton McClain. And I think because of the Dodgers situation, it has taken so much attention away from Major League Baseball. With the mess that is in Los Angeles, that vote for ownership has had to be pushed back for Jim Crane to take over the Astros. But certainly they're involved with the organization moving forward. And Rock, I was not here, but you were, and you certainly can understand where the Astros are as an organization, where their fans must be feeling right now and thinking about this team, because the Brewers were there not too long ago.
Yeah, but the difference was they didn't have the big talented players like the Astros had and traded them away. It was more or less trying to get through the farm system and the second or third tier free agent type players, and come a long way since 2002, where the Brewers lost 106 games. I mean, it's not easy to go through a season like that. And it's got to be even more difficult for your fan base when you know you had players that could compete at the big league level. You know, guys like Berkman and Oswalt and Hunter Pence, and you trade them away.
And remember, the Astros were in the World Series in '05. So they have a taste of a World Series. They lost to the White Sox that year.
But it all starts with the minor league system. And that's what got the Brewers turned around. Those good drafts, and you know, bring your guys up. You add some free agents here and there. You just can't. You know, when you don't have the money of the Red Sox, the Phillies, and the Yankees, you just can't go out and get free agents for every position. You just can't do it. Not many can. You wish you could, but you can't. And the Astros right now are trying to bolster that system to. It's going to take a while, though.
Well, Randy Wolf now with 2 on, and Carlos Lee coming up.
And next pitch will be 100 for Randy. He's throwing a lot of pitches tonight.
Got to be careful with Lee. He's only hit 10 homers, but he certainly has home run power. And one swing of the bat could give the Astros the lead here in the 6th. Wolf is looking for a ground ball. That would get him out of the inning. And a fly ball to right, pretty well hit. Back is Hart on the track. He's got it. Tagging is Altuve, and he'll make it without a throw.
And there was a day when Carlos Lee, he got a first pitch fastball like that, he'd knock it out of the ballpark. Yeah, his bat is slowed down somewhat. A little upset with himself. They didn't hit that one any better. He's a guy that can be patient at the plate, but when there's men on base, he's going to go up there to swing. And maybe 1, maybe 2 years ago, you're not going to get that one back. You see a little bit behind that fastball from Wolfie, and it was right down the middle.
So 2 gone, and Wolf will face Angel Sanchez. Runners at the corners. The tying run is at first. Sanchez representing the go-ahead run. Sanchez singled off Wolf in the 2nd inning. And there's the curveball that misses low, not by much. Another one missed. Can Randy Wolf bow his neck one more time? He is trying to get through 6. The Astros had 2 on with 2 out in the 1st inning, did not score. 3 balls, no strikes. Wolf worked around a leadoff single in the 2nd, stranded a runner at 2nd in the 3rd inning. And leading up to this inning, he had retired 7 in a row.
Just a bit low. Look where you had to plate.
3-0. And there is strike 1. Right down the heart for Randy Wolf. Brewers get 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th. RBIs from Casey McGee and George Kataris. Another one down the chute. 3-2 the count.
I'm not sure why you take that pitch. You want to drive in the run, or don't you? That was right down the middle.
And won't get out of it. The 3-2 and a bouncing ball to Felipe Lopez. And Randy Wolf, 6 shutout innings on the board against his old team. We have Braun and Fielder. They'll hit when we come back. We are on our way to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0 Milwaukee. By the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By AirTran, go, there's nothing stopping you. By the Miller Lite Vortex bottle, taste greatness. And by Pepsi Max, go to 2012springbaseball.com for a chance to win a trip for you and 9 friends. Always a lot of fun here at Miller Park, and maybe the highlight of the night outside the lines, the famous sausage race. And looked like the hot dog with the black socks working tonight.
Yeah.
Nice, good look.
I had some of the pre-cooked Italians on my grill last night. Maybe the Italian was a bit shaken up over that.
Took a bite out of him, huh? Now, I know you have your way as Nigel Morgan leads off. What's your way again? I'm still trying to master it.
Well, it's different with the pre-cooked, which is my personal favorite. You can pull them right out of the package and eat them. But with the others, the uncooked, grill them, then stick them in the boiled beer with the onions.
I see.
Is that what you mean by when you say what's your way?
Yeah, because there was a moment when Bill's Grill was very popular.
It was hot.
And it still is. Maybe not publicly, but it still is in our inner circle.
A lot of controversy as to whether you should boil them and then grill them or grill them then boil them.
What's the ratio of forehead sweat to onions and
Oh, there's none of that in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, there is.
No. That's unsanitary, Brian.
That's why they took you off the air, Bill. As Morgan reaches out and pulls one foul. There's no hairnet for Bill Schroeder, number 21 in your program.
Well, what you don't want to do is stick your face right over the grill. I mean, that's not a good idea. Is that what you do at home?
No, I don't do that.
You got to reach.
It's all about the tongs.
Yeah, long tongs.
Morgan into right, a base hit. And the hits are coming now for Milwaukee. They had just one hit through the first 4 innings. And now the 5th hit in the last 2 innings.
Starting to see the ball a little bit better on young Lyles, and that's what happens. I mean, the kid comes up here, you've never seen him before. He's got an advantage, at least for the early part of the ball game, and these guys start seeing what he's got and getting better swings.
Morgan with the 5th hit in the last 8 batters, so the Brewers 5 for 8 since Fielder's double started the 5th inning. And now it's Braun with a man on. Ryan Braun is 0 for 2 against Lyles, and he has done his best pitching against Braun tonight. On both occasions, he has fallen behind Braun, either 3-1 or 3-0, and he's retired him twice. And not many can boast that.
Well, and your luck's going to run out at some point when you're falling behind hitters like Braun and Fielder. And obviously, 3rd time through means that you're throwing the baseball well. You're in the game long enough to be able to get through the 6th and 7th innings. And because of that, you've got good stuff. 3rd time through, pretty good for Lyles so far in 10 starts.
Lyles has consistently pitched inside on Braun, and he has tied him up in his first 2 at-bats for outs. Goes away from him this time, and Lee goes to second, and they get the out at second base. Good play from Carlos Lee. They get the lead out. Braun at first. 1 gone for Fielder. Well, Sundays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, join Tom Brokaw for Boys in the Hall, the personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends. This week it's Ralph Kiner. Boys in the Hall, Sundays, presented by Subway restaurants where winners eat. Kiner's Corner. Ralph Kiner still active for the Mets broadcasting. You see him, I think he comes on once a homestand now. I saw him on there the other day with Ron Darling and Gary Cohen. Always has some interesting points.
Growing up in New Jersey as a young kid watching Met games, Kiner's Corner was always a unique feature. That was before the big post-game shows became popular. It was Kiner's corner instead of the on-field instructional.
And Ralph Kiner, like Prince Fielder, has a 50 home run season to his mark, which they most certainly would have done an instructional about in Kiner's day.
Hall of Famer Ralph Kiner. He had some big years when they weren't hitting a lot of home runs.
Two balls and a strike. Fielder doubled and scored in the 5th. Got Braun over at first. Two to nothing Brewers in the 6th inning, and that one looks like a double play ball. Altuve to Barmes to Carlos Lee. 4-6-3 double play. The inning is over. Still 2 to nothing, and we go to the 7th.
Randy Wolf, through 6 innings, has not surrendered a single run. He has 4 strikeouts, 3 coming against Michael Bourne. And in the bottom of the 5th inning, it was the start of a very eventful one. Hunter Pence apparently traded. He was pulled from the game, traded to the Philadelphia Phillies as reported. But then the Brewers started to score. Casey McGee with an infield RBI single to make it 1-0, and George Katars followed that up with an RBI single to make it 2-0, and that's where we stand here in the top of the 7th, PA.
Yeah, and how about Randy Wolf back on the mound with 107 pitches. He returns for the 7th inning as that one is lifted behind the plate. Did he get it? George Katars comes out of there with a baseball. What a great play by the Brewer catcher for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, a tough part of that play is recognizing where the baseball is. You get that pop up. He saw it right away, got rid of the mask, and a nice job sliding into the padding and grabbing it. Hey, get down low. Give yourself a little bit more time to get there.
Very well done. See the pitch count for Randy Wolf. Wanted one more. Ron Renneke has been willing to extend his starters during this stretch. He did it with Zach Greinke. Bouncing ball through the hole, and a base hit for Humberto Quintero. So that is a single from the 8th spot in the batting order, and that is going to mean the end of the night for Jordan Lyles. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Brewers and the Astros are on WMLW tomorrow. And then Sunday, final game of this series is a matinee, and it is on Fox Sports Wisconsin. 12:30 is airtime for Brewers Live. Cardinals coming to town Monday. It's a 9-game homestand in all. So far, the Brewers are 3-0 and trying to make it 4 straight wins with a victory today. Astros are going to send up a pinch hitter. LaTroy Hawkins is ready in the bullpen. Matt Downs will pinch hit. So Jordan Lyles is out after 6 impressive innings, giving up 2 runs.
Well, will stay winless for the season. He pitched well, though. Very impressive young right-hander.
Lyles goes 6 innings with 6 hits allowed. 2 runs, both earned. He didn't walk anybody. Strikes out 3. He made a good point between innings, concerning the Astros. They pushed this young pitcher to the big leagues, and he looks like he belongs here. But you have to wonder about confidence moving forward with a team like the Astros struggling so badly.
They just don't want to have him, lose that confidence and be timid out there in the mound, thinking that if I make one bad pitch, it could cost me the ball game. It's happened before. That's why you see the Brewers, at times they'll leave a guy down in the minor leagues. They'll keep him at Double-A when some teams would maybe push him to Triple-A. You want to have your players down in the minor leagues develop all kinds of confidence, almost feel as though they're invincible, as opposed to pushing them too much and then not having success at the next level. You want to make sure they're ready for that. Not to say that Lyles isn't, but that's a tough situation for him. Already 0-5. The Astros before tonight had lost 9 of his 10 starts. I mean, that weighs on a young kid's mind. Here's a nice pitch by Wolf. Fastball outer half.
Two balls, 2 strikes on the pinch hitter Downs, and a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Randy Wolf with out number 2 and his 5th strikeout tonight. Went right back to it.
Yep, using his fastball, and Randy early in the game was using a changeup and a curveball. Later part of the game, trying to get some mileage out of the heater.
So Wolf with 2 away. And back to the top of the order, and Michael Bourne, who has struck out 3 times against Randy Wolf. You would think this would be Randy's last hitter. He might get one more. We'll see. He's hoping that he'll finish off Bourne and call it a day. 7 shutout. Bourne not biting on the breaking stuff. Bouncing ball. Lopez will gobble it up. And Randy Wolf, what a night tonight. The former Astros, 7 shutout innings.
7th inning. Felipe Lopez set to lead off, and Davey, what an impact he had right away. 2 singles, a run scored already in this game.
Well, you know, the Brewers knew what this young man can do, and he certainly has made that kind of an impact, and they hope that he can continue to swing the bat.
Ron Reddick saying if he does this, plays good defense, he's going to be the everyday second baseman until Ricky gets back.
Well, and that's right. And one of the things, if he continues to do this, you know what? They don't have to go out and look for somebody.
All right, so Lopez making an impact. Game 1, tight ball game here. He'll lead off the bottom of the 7th. Brewers Live coming up, and we'll talk about Randy Wolf's great performance tonight, too, shutting down Houston through 7. Brian?
Yeah, 7 shutout, only 4 hits allowed for Randy Wolf. 117 pitches, the second most he has thrown this season. 3 walks to go along with 5 strikeouts. Wolf in line for his 7th win. The new pitcher is Enerio Del Rosario. Takes over for Jordan Lyles, and he'll have Felipe Lopez, Casey McGee, and Yuniesky Betancourt. Interested to hear the crowd response when they announce Lopez to lead off this 7th inning. Brewers with a 2-0 lead going into the bottom of the 7th. So Lopez with 2 hits and a run scored. At the plate presented by Wendy's. Lopez with the 2 singles. Knocked one back up the middle, and then he slapped one to left field and started a rally in the 5th.
Yeah, it's awfully nice to have a guy that can fill in for your all-star second baseman that has had a lot of experience in the big leagues. He's been through the wars. He's not going to be really surprised by anything that is in front of him, as opposed to trying to get a major league debut out of one of your minor leaguers in a pennant race. It's a good pickup by Doug Melvin.
Takashi Saito preparing for the 8th. And a little bouncer coming in is Altuve, and he makes a play for the out. First time Lopez retired tonight. Right, Rock, Randy Wolf, 7 more shutout innings on the board. He keeps at it.
Man, he really calmed down. I mean, the first 3 innings had that pitch count up there. He was in the 6th inning when he had 100 pitches. But able to stay in there through 7. Had a good curveball tonight. He struggled with his command early on, but seemed to get better as the night progressed. Well, good job once again by Randy Wolf. Another scoreless outing.
Well, the fact that Takashi Saito is loosening in the bullpen for the 8th inning might give you an answer about the availability of John Axford tonight as the closer. See Francisco Rodriguez stirring around. Ron Renicky did say when Rodriguez was acquired that he is probably the more durable of the 2 between Axford and Rodriguez. Not because, not because he just has different stuff, but the fact that he's done it for a lot longer. Earlier this year, Rodriguez was with the Mets. He went 5 consecutive games. There was a day off in the middle of that group, but he pitched in 5 consecutive games for Terry Collins and the Mets. Randy Wolf doesn't care who it is as long as they take him to the finish line.
Yeah, Randy now with his 4th outing where he has not allowed a run. He's in 5 other outings he allowed only 1 run, so he has really thrown the baseball well. Looking for win number 7.
As McGee draws the walk. So Casey McGee on for the 2nd time, has an infield hit, an RBI, and now a walk and a base runner for Betancourt.
Hey, Ryan Braun is currently in the lead to be the next We Energy's High Energy Player of the Year with 75% of the votes. Cast your vote today at brewers.com/WeEnergies. It's a landslide, BA. 75%. I don't
Done
think
deal?
that's going to be tough.
Early returns are in.
It's a landslide.
Exit poll states.
No, those are the real polls.
Oh, that's the real poll. Here's Betancourt and a bouncer through a base hit. Betancourt keeps it going. He lined out in the 3rd inning. Comes up with his first hit here in the 7th, but he continues to swing a red hot bat.
Yeah, just doing a nice job staying back. I mean, that ball that he hit in the 1st inning, a line drive to center field, it was caught. Good balance on his finish as he gets through the baseball, and because of that, he's not popping up as much. He's been more of a ground ball line drive hitter as opposed to a lot of pop-ups early in the season. When you're hitting pop-ups, that means you're out in front. You're out on your front foot. Your hands are dragging through the zone, don't have enough to stay on top of the baseball. Boy, he's been a different hitter in the 2nd half.
Betancourt now with 4 hits on the homestand. 4 for 11 at the plate with a couple of RBIs. 1st and 2nd, 1 away. And here is Kataris. George had a big hit in the 5th, and he made a great play defensively tonight as well. Brewers had a 1-0 lead in the 5th inning. Kataris got down to 2 strikes on Jordan Lyles and sliced one into left field, an opposite field RBI single on a 2-strike pitch, and extended the lead to 2-0, which is where we sit. Mark Kotze preparing for an at-bat next if Kataris can get him to the plate.
And no better feeling for your backup catcher when he gets in there. He calls a good game and drives in a run with a base hit. You feel like you're contributing.
Jonathan Lucroy, the everyday catcher. Kataris gets in there with Randy Wolf and has made an impact tonight. As he lays off, he's done that very well this year. Kataris draws the walk. He's shown a great eye this season, especially for a guy who's not playing a lot. And now the bases are loaded, and a big opportunity to break this one open as Kotze will be announced as the pinch hitter. Kotze's numbers as a pinch hitter this year: 6 for 21 at the plate. That's a .286 batting average. And he has 3 runs batted in.
And the Astros have 1 left-hander in their bullpen, but he is not getting loose. 1 left-hander and 6 right-handed pitchers in their bullpen. Somewhat surprising that Brad Mills didn't go to the left-hander for Kataris, forcing the hand of Ron Renick perhaps to bring in his right-handed pinch hitters.
There's a bouncer over to Lee's coming to the plate, and they get the out there. So the force play at home. McGee is retired, and the Astros cut down the lead man. Still bases loaded, but now 2 outs. We go back to the top of the order.
That's that sinker from Del Rosario. He's got a good sinker, and he gets Kotze on the first pitch. A 1 hopper to Lee. Well, that's what was lacking for the Brewers in that Cubs series. Big hits that just break the game wide open. And still looking for one here in the 7th inning.
Betancourt, Kataris, and Kotze on the bags now. Top of the order, Corey Hart, who is 0 for 3 tonight. A 2-run 5th, the difference in this game for the Brewers. Brewers got a run on an infield hit from McGee. He drove in fielder. Kataris sliced a single to plate Felipe Lopez. That's been it offensively. 2-1 on Hart. The Brewers have hit 1 grand slam this year, and it came from Sean Markham, a starting pitcher. 3-1 to count.
I'll tell you, a walk would look good right here. Talking about a grand slam, I'll take a walk. Get another run in.
Crowd into it. 3-1 to Corey. And a ground ball off the glove of Sanchez. 1 run is in. Here comes Gutierrez. He'll score. 2 runs in. And it's 4-0 Brewers.
Well, or a base hit, whatever you prefer. And we'll see what they call it. It looked like Sanchez had a play on it, but went right over his glove. Corey hit it hard, a couple of hops. That's got to be a base hit. A couple of RBIs for Corey Hart. And there's that big hit the Brewers have been looking for. And it came up on him a little bit. Hit number 8 drives in 2 for the Brewers with 2 outs.
4-0 Brew Crew. And Brad Mills is on his way out to make a change. So with Morgan coming up, Mills will make the call to the bullpen. A big 2-out hit for Corey Hart. 4-0 Brewers, and a pitching change. We'll take a break. Hart with a 2-out hit that drives in a pair. 4-0 Brewers. Brad Mills of the Astros makes a change. Sergio Escalona is the new pitcher. Goes to the left-hander with Nyjer Morgan coming up.
He's doing a nice job against left-handed batters. He's holding lefties to a 154 batting average this year. And for his career, a 167 mark. Well, left-handers this year only 6 for 39. You see his numbers, they have been pretty good this year.
Del Rosario deserved a better fate. Astros not playing very well defensively. Nyjer Morgan singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Keeps that batting average at 322, which is where it was to start the day. Nyjer does not have enough at-bats to qualify at this point. If he continues to play through the rest of the year, he eventually will. But Morgan, had he had enough at-bats to qualify, he would be 3rd in the National League in hitting.
Yeah. Well, you need 3.1 plate appearances to qualify for the batting title. 3.1 plate appearances per game. So you multiply 107 for the Brewers by 3.1. You add up the base hits, the hit batters, the sac flies, sacrifice bunts and walks. That's how you get to qualify.
I was told there'd be no math. And Morgan with a base hit. Here comes Katse. He'll be held up with Braun coming up. Good play out there from Bourgeois, but Nyjer Morgan, 2 more hits. 2 for 4. And the Plush Nation enjoying every minute of that. Braun is coming up the Powerball home run leaderboard. Braun with 21. Fielder would lead the club with 23. And Brad Mills going back to the bullpen. He'll make another change. So the left-hander Escalona gives up the hit. And Mills doing all he can to limit the damage here in the 7th inning. We'll take a break. We'll set up the new hurler when we come back. Bases loaded for Braun. Over 41,672 the official attendance, and they are jumping around here at Miller Park. Now the bases are loaded. The Astros making another pitching change. The third reliever used this inning is David Carpenter, and he'll face Ryan Braun with the bases full and 2 outs.
Well, he's had many opportunities, and he's been getting knocked around a little bit. An opponent batting average of .320.
Corey Hart delivered a 2-run single to extend the lead to 4-0. And now Braun looking for a knockout punch. Braun is 0 for 3. Brewers have won 3 straight on this homestand. Low scoring, tight ball games in the first 3 games against the Cubs. That included a shutout of the Cubs. Randy Wolf with 7 shutout innings, giving up just 4 hits, and a very satisfied look from the starting pitcher.
Yeah, that demeanor changed a little bit after that Corey Hart base hit. Went from 2-0 to 4-0. That'll put a smile on the pitcher's face.
1 ball, 1 strike on Braun.
Carpenter, another player on this Astros club that started the year in AA. AA, AAA, now the big leagues. Put together some pretty good numbers down in the minor leagues.
One and 2 on Braun. That one will end up in the seats. Ryan is 1 home run away from 150 in his career.
That was a pretty good one to hit, too. A hanging slider.
His numbers jump off the page at you in just his 5th season. Historically good. The 1-2, and Braun spoils it.
That's what makes him so good. Even when he's fooled, he's able to get that bat on top of the baseball and a fastball away. Most hitters swing and miss at that pitch. That Brawny covers both sides very well. You have to be able to put up the numbers he's been able to put up.
A fourth-time All-Star starter. He was unable to participate this year due to that leg injury. 1-2 pitch, and Braun lays off. Or did he? No, he didn't. He is rung up by Jeff Kellogg. Braun strikes out, unable to check his swing. Fires the bat and the helmet. And the inning ends with the bases loaded, but the Brewers get 2 big runs, 4-0 as we head to the 8th.
Nice weather holds across the Milwaukee area. Looks mostly sunny once again. Still on the warm side, a couple of degrees above normal here with our first pitch temperature at 86 and a nice light breeze in out of the south.
Yeah, beautiful night tonight. Roof is open. Fans enjoying this one. Another sellout here at Miller Park. 15th sellout of the year. And it's going to be Takashi Saito to work the 8th inning in a 4-0 Brewer lead.
Yeah, Saito's thrown well since returning from the disabled list. That was on July 2nd. He's 2-0 at a 123 earned run average. Last pitched on Wednesday. He retired the only batter that he faced when to strand an inherited runner in the 7th inning against the Cubs.
So 4-0. Saito facing Jose Altuve, who started. He singled his last time up. He was a leadoff base runner for the Astros in the 6th. Randy Wolf managed to pitch around some base runners tonight. Went 7 shutout. Saito spins one in for a strike, and it's 1-2 on Altuve.
His best pitch, the slider for Takashi Saito. He's had a good one lately.
And Altuve just leans out. Lopez is there. Felipe Lopez. What a debut after the Brewers acquire him from the Tampa Bay Rays. And a terrific defensive play to go along with 2 hits.
Yeah, shaded up the middle, and you can see Betancourt kind of covering second base. Another example of that shifting defense for the Brewers paying off. Nice play by Lopez.
You know, who knows how it'll end up, but you think about guys who have the ability to have great success in the big leagues, and we saw it from Felipe Lopez in 09. He can swing the bat very well. And you think about the Giants last year and some of the trades they made, and especially the trade acquiring Cody Ross. And Ross was always a good hitter with the Marlins, but he caught fire with the Giants in the regular season and helped that team offensively get through the postseason. And of course they won the World Series last year. But you need players like that who come out of nowhere and contribute.
They're veterans that can be a big piece of that puzzle as you get down the stretch, you get toward the postseason. Guys that have seen it before, been there, done that. There's no replacing experience.
Nyjer Morgan has been that kind of player for the Brewers. And Lopez certainly has the pedigree to do it. We'll see how the final 2 months goes. Jason Bourgeois down in the count. By the way, the Hunter Pence trade to the Phillies is now confirmed. There have been so many rumors all night. It was first a little surprising that Pence was in the lineup tonight because the rumors were so strong and coming from multiple sources that he was in fact traded to the Phillies. And then of course we got the confirmation, at least all signs were leading toward that trade when the Astros pulled him out of this game. You knew he was going somewhere, and he ends up with the Philadelphia Phillies.
And Brad Mills, you saw a shot at him wondering, what am I going to do tomorrow for my lineup? And is a big bat, good defender, a guy that you would think that the Astros, as you mentioned earlier, could build their franchise around, but not anymore.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Bourgeois. Now players in the minor leagues, that is a common sight, and goodness knows I've spent enough years in the minor leagues to see it a lot. But when a player gets called up to the big leagues, that would be something you would see. A guy would come in from a game, he'd be replaced, you'd see a lot of high five, hugs, whatever in the dugout, and you almost knew he was going to the major leagues.
Right.
You rarely see that in a major league game room, and that's what we had tonight as Pence had his final farewell in the Astros dugout for all to see. And our text question tonight has to do with that fact. Steve wants to know, has there ever been a player traded to the opposing team in the middle of a game? And the answer is yes, but I'm not sure.
Well, they can't play in the game, obviously. I mean, you have to, it's there was a trade I remember involving the Mets, I think, and a player played on. Oh, it was a doubleheader. I mean, a player played for one team in one end of the doubleheader, and the other team in the other end of the doubleheader. So it happens, but it's extremely rare. Can you imagine that?
You might remember when the Brewers acquired Ray Durham, he was playing for the Giants, and the Brewers, right after the Giants series, had Ray Durham in uniform. So. Mike Fontenot with the Cubs, when he was traded to the Giants, he played the first 2 games with the Cubs in a series with the Giants, and then he went to the Giants. So he played the final 2 games for San Francisco.
I think Ray Durham could have done that, but I think everybody elected that he wasn't going to do that. Right. He sat that game out. I think it was the 3rd game of a 3-game series.
That was in 08, and that club in 08, that postseason team, Ray Durham.
Jumped on the Brewers charter, said goodbye to everybody, and went to the postseason.
And the rumor is Brewers had open tryouts for Ray Durham, Bill Hall, and Felipe Lopez before they went with Felipe. No, just kidding.
Billy Hall's had a tough time of it. Came off the disabled list yesterday and got designated for assignment.
Kind of felt that coming while we were in San Francisco.
So he's been released twice this year.
Well, the Astros could use an outfielder now.
That's a good pitch. Astros taking a lot of hittable fastballs.
2-2 to Michaels. Outside for a ball. 3-2 the count. Michaels replaced Hunter Pence in the batting order. Saito trying to keep this consecutive scoreless inning streak alive for the Brewer bullpen. And he will. Michaels in the air. Corey Hart coming in. And he's got it. And that is 11 1/3 consecutive scoreless for the Brewer bullpen. Saito adds his name to the list. Get you caught up as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And one of the big stories tonight, Randy Wolf, he goes 7 shutout on just 4 hits. The other big story for the Brewers, Felipe Lopez acquired in a trade yesterday, in the lineup tonight. 2 hits for Milwaukee tonight. Brewers got 2 runs in the 5th. Casey McGee, an infield hit that drove in the first run, and then it was George Guitars with 2 strikes, slapping one to the opposite field, scoring Lopez. Brewers had a 2-0 lead after 5 innings. And then Corey Hart with 2 outs in the 7th inning. A 2 RBI single. And it added to the Milwaukee lead. Now 4-0, bottom of the 8th. And Prince Fielder will lead off in front of this sellout crowd tonight. Nuri Rodriguez will pitch for Houston.
A 4th reliever for Brad Mills and the Astros. And Rodriguez, 27th game, 0-4 in an ERA over 5. He's given up 11 home runs.
Cameron Lowe getting ready for the 9th inning. And you would imagine if it becomes a save situation, you most likely would see Francisco Rodriguez, judging by the activity in the bullpen over the last couple of innings.
It'll take a couple of base runners for the Astros in the 9th for it to become a save opportunity. And Ron Renick would love for Cameron Lowe to nail this one down. 3 up, 3 down. Give both of them a night off. Rodriguez and Axford.
Yeah, K-Rod and Axford pitching in the last 3 games. Rodriguez with 3 holds, Axford with 3 saves. Fielder always grinding at the plate.
He never gives away an at bat.
Prince with a double and a run scored tonight. Hits that one hard right to Carlos Lee. And Rodriguez is there to make the play. And we check in with Telly Hughes.
Well, B.A. LaTroy Hawkins wants to encourage fans to join him for the 2011 Grand Slam Golden Mixer on Sunday, July 31st from 5 to 8 at Dave & Buster's. Brewer players, coaches, and their families will be on hand to help raise money for the Foundation for Children with Cancer. For more information on this event and how to donate, contact Leslie Redmond at 414-550-5847. Should be a really good time to interact with some Brewers players at Dave & Buster's on Sunday, B.A.
All right, thanks a lot, Telly. And good job, LaTroy Hawkins. Matter of fact, I voted today. The ballots came in today, the Branch Rickey Award.
Okay.
And I voted for LaTroy Hawkins. He's one of the nominees. Does a lot of great work.
How come I didn't get a ballot?
You did. It's just in the heap of mail that you haven't had Renee go through yet.
Oh, is that where that is?
Lopez takes the ball down and in.
I'm going to have to dig that out and cast my vote for LaTroy.
His nickname is Flip. Felipe Lopez. It's nice to have a nickname already in place when you arrive to a new team. And he rips one. Oh, what a play by Lee. And they get the out. Carlos Lee. Great play at first base.
Well, maybe he's finally found a defensive position, right? Has not been very good in the outfield, but I'll tell you, he's made some nice plays here tonight. That might be the best one. Yep, a step and a dive for Carlos Lee. He's got a nice long wingspan and able to take a base hit away from Felipe Lopez. That's a nice play at first.
Yeah. Stretching out, robbing Lopez of his third hit.
Of course, with the trade to Hunter Pence, he might very well go back to the outfield. Brett Wallace at first.
Yeah, you could see that move. The Astros do have a prospect outfielder named JT Martinez in Double-A, and there's been some chatter that he might replace Pence. McGee got a piece of everybody that time, the catcher and the umpire.
Tim Timmons got one right between the eyes.
Now the big story, of course, nationally concerning this game is the trade of Hunter Pence to Philadelphia, coming out the middle of this one. McGee into right center. That ball's well hit. That one is way back. And that ball is up and off the wall. Casey McGee with a double. Rips it off the right center field fence, and some premature fireworks. It's always fun to have fireworks for doubles, though.
Ain't nothing wrong with a fireworks show for an extra base hit. Good job by Casey McGee. I say anytime you get an opposite field double, you get the fireworks out. Why not?
I agree.
Especially have a 4-0 lead. A nice short stroke by Casey. Let the ball get to him and hit that one hard into right center. Well, the fireworks guy or gal just couldn't see it against that white background on the West Bend sign. I don't blame him.
Yeah,
trying to encourage the umpire to call it a homer.
As much as we love West Bend, we would encourage a different color sign next year. Makes it hard on play-by-play announcers and umpires. But it is a beautiful sign.
It is.
Betancourt over to third. Sanchez makes the play. And the side retired. So here we go to the ninth. 4-0. The Brewers trying to seal up a shutout of the Houston Astros. So far, it has been a good night at the ballpark for Milwaukee Brewers fans. Part of this sellout crowd at Miller Park on a Friday night. And a 4-0 Brewer lead. Cameron Lowe will have the 9th inning. And he'll face Carlos Lee to start it.
52nd appearance on the year for Cameron. A .450 earned run average. 48 innings under his belt. 13 walks, 37 strikeouts for the Brewers' tall right-handed reliever.
Lee bangs one foul. Well, if you look at this homestand so far, this is the 4th game of the homestand. Maybe the biggest moment of the homestand occurred with Lowe on the mound in the 6th inning of Tuesday's game. He entered the game in a bases loaded, nobody out situation and got out of it with no runs. Got a ground ball for an out at the plate and then a double play ball to end the inning. At the time, the Brewers had a 3-2 lead. They would go on to win that game 3-2. And it seemed like a turning point of this homestand for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, it looked like the Cubs are going to take the lead, and Ryan Dempster on the mound for the Cubs, a pitcher that the Brewers have had a tough time against. And I'll tell you, that was a big adrenaline boost in that dugout for Milwaukee.
Bouncing ball, Betancourt makes a play, spins, fires in time.
That's a beauty.
Uni B. What a great play by the Brewers shortstop to get Carlos Lee.
Boy, his field awareness outstanding. He grabs that baseball, spins around, and instinctively knows exactly where first base is and throws a strike to Prince. It doesn't get much better than that. Well done by Betancourt. Yep, Cameron Lowe likes it. Always important to get that first out. It would be huge to be able to get through this game with just Cameron Lowe.
Here is Angel Sanchez with one away. Lowe pitches in this 9th inning with no activity in the bullpen. So Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz making sure that if somebody's going to get up, it's going to be when a man gets on base, which is another way a manager and a pitching coach try to protect the bullpen. It's not just the games that these pitchers pitch in between the lines, it's the throws they make in the bullpen as well. Bouncing ball, Betancourt, much easier chance, and 2 up, 2 down for Cameron Lowe on a couple of ground ball outs. At this point, our Menards player of the game is Randy Wolf. Rock goes 7 shutout tonight in 117 pitches.
It wasn't one of his more efficient nights on the mound, but he was able to get through 7 innings, got his pitch count up there. He got it up early and then was able to be more efficient with his pitches, but his fastball is pretty good tonight, locating it well.
Randy Wolf in line for the win. He is an out away from his first win since the 24th of June. It's been over a month. As Lowe deals Barmas strike 1. Another grounder. And Betancourt, another play. Can he finish it off? You bet. 3 up, 3 down. Cameron Lowe closes it out. A 4-0 win for the Brewers. The 2nd time they have shut out an opponent on this homestand. And the Brew Crew has won 4 straight. Randy Wolf goes to 7-8. Jordan Lyles, the tough luck loser, at 0-6. And a 4-0 Milwaukee win, and all smiles in front of this sellout crowd tonight. Much more still to come on this game. Craig Kashawn, what do you have coming up on Brewers Live?
Well, we'll check the games around the National League Central, get you updated on the first place Milwaukee Brewers. Get inside the clubhouse as well. They are red hot here at Miller Park.